What's up, everybody? It's Vicious here, and today we're gonna be talking about this Tekken 8 Genmaji Temple debacle. I am a Tekken fan. I've been a Tekken fan since I was a young kid in the '90s. I started with Tekken 3, and I went back to Tekken 2 and Tekken 1. I actually like Tekken 2 more than I like Tekken 3, but that's neither here nor there. I'm a longtime Tekken fan, and I have every single mainline Tekken game, right? I love Tekken. And a lot of people love Tekken. It's one of the highest selling fighting games, if not the highest selling, like traditional 2D, or not 2D, traditional fighting game there is. You know what I mean? And Recently there's some controversy. So it's received a very negative review on Steam, and I think people are reviewing Tekken 8 negatively in totality because of this. And There's a lot of BS surrounding this situation, and there's a lot to unpack. So first off, there was a season pass for Tekken 8, and that season pass I believe is $40. Let me see, because I got mine from like an actual like a discounted website like CD Keys. Let me see. Deluxe edition upgrade pack is in library. So very negative, mostly negative. Let's take a look at this. How much is this? So it's $39.99 to upgrade from this $60 game on Steam, I believe, and I believe it was $70 on console. And yeah, it's $40. It's $40 for this deluxe edition. What do you get with this deluxe edition? You get Lydia Sobieska, you get Heihachi Mishima, you get Eddie Gordo, and a fourth character, right? And that's pretty, standard for like a season pass. You get like 4 or 5 characters. It's like normally like a standard. Some games do less depending on like how well off they are. Like Under Night and Birth, you're not going to see a lot of characters in that, or Melty Blood at one given time, or even like very quickly. So like having Bandai Namco work fast to like make these characters is something else, and their stages as well. I have no idea the development time or whatever, but honestly I have a bone to pick with this pass that goes outside of the stage, and I just want to talk about that really quickly so I can get into the meat and potatoes of this whole situation. So one, Eddie Gordo has been in the game since Tekken 3. He was in the previous game. He was in Tekken 7. Lydia was in Tekken 7 as a DLC character. Why wasn't she just a base character? Like, very boring picks so far. Heihachi's been in every single game. He was supposed to be dead in the last game. Very, very silly picks. But with those little gripes out of the way, let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this video. So the Genmaji Temple, very cool stage. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. Nobody really hates the stage, but this stage is not included in the season pass. And that's happened, I believe, 1 or 2 other times in like the past like 2 gens that I've been playing fighting games in, right? I play a bunch of different fighting games, which I feel like, and this might sound rude, but a lot of Tekken fans don't have like a lot of intersectionality when it comes to other fighting games. So like a lot of them are just like, I want to say like bushwicked into like loving Tekken no matter what. Like, oh my goodness, this is the community, this is the standard of fighting games. Do you want this game to go away? That's a lot. That's a sentiment you see a lot with Tekken 8, and we're gonna go over that a little bit. So it's $5. It's not that much money, but Tekken is littered with microtransactions, which I'm gonna actually turn on Tekken 8 here in a bit, and we'll take a look at those microtransactions, and we'll take a look at a tweet talking about like the stability of Tekken as a franchise, right? So let's take a look at these reviews. Very negative. Y'all are crazy poor to be complaining about $8. It's a cool map. If you can't cough up $8 for a DLC, you need to reevaluate your lives. And you see it got 42. Yeah, I agree. Go ahead. There you go. There you go. Next, give award. Congratulations, clown. You are a clown. It's not about pretty stage. I like this too. It's really not about like coughing up the money. It's not about being poor or not being poor. It's just about a standard. Most developers, when they have a season pass, stages are included. It doesn't matter what the development costs are. That's none of our business. You find a way to make it work, and you see if like it goes with your business. What's the word for it? Your business strategy, and then you just go from there. Like, it's a gamble. I feel like when you make anything, I'm not a businessman per se, but I feel like it's a gamble anytime you make something. But if you're willing to make something and have a bundle that has characters and traditionally has stages with those characters, like, I feel like it's something that should have been bundled. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to pay for this stage individually and I didn't have the pass, I don't really have a right to complain about paying for it individually, I feel like. And some things we've gotten for free. Harada had mentioned that the beach stage that we got was for free. I don't think you needed Lydia or the DLC, the deluxe edition, to get that stage, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. The story that we got in this latest DLC was free. And they could have kept that shit, honestly. Like, the problem with Tekken is they want to, like, blame everything on finances, and, like, it's their own fucking decisions, honestly. Excuse my French. Harada and them, nobody, like, the story modes that they have for Tekken are nice. Right? They're voice acted. They have like these individualized actions that don't exist in the game. They make full use of the Unreal Engine. But Tekken's story was perfected in Tekken 5 when there was rival fights, when there was rival battles. They had dialogue with one another, which they brought back in this game. But honestly, that's where it can stay. The beauty of Tekken 1 through 5 was that type of situation. Every character had their rival, or they had their character they fought against during the tournament that really spoke to them, or in some way, like, they moved their story forward, and that's just how it is. But in Tekken 8, they want to make this big, large-scale war. They want to make a 3D scenario campaign section that you only go through once in the entire story. Like, that costs a lot of money, I'm sure, because you're making the characters behave in a different way than they would normally. So you have to program and take months of programming to figure that out. That's not my fucking fault that they did that shit. That's their fault. I didn't ask for that shit. I'm sure somebody did, but even if they did, they didn't get that much out of it. They got one section in the entire game. Why are you playing Tekken for beat 'em up instead of fighting? It's a fighting game. I'm sorry, that's neither here nor there. And I'm not going to go through every single one of these. I just want to go through a couple more things. So I was going through Twitter, and Del Walker, I am not like familiar with Del Walker in the least bit, but yeah, Del Walker is on the BAFTA committee, Culture, Tech, Entertainment. Previous Naughty Dog, worked at Rocksteady Games, Respawn, PlayStation. So Del Walker has a lot of skin in the game, is what I can see. You know what I mean? Del Walker is a dev, and let's see what Del Walker has to say about this, right? It looked like Del Walker worked on that Suicide Squad game. I don't know. That's neither here nor there, but let's look. Hi, game developers' perspective here. I believe Tekken 8 showcases how some game fans are creating conditions for their favorite games to disappear. Here's why. The community is upset about a $5 DLC stage, even for character season pass holders, but consider this. Tekken 2 and 3 costs $50 to $60 to buy in 1997, and Tekken 8 costs $50 to $70 in 2024. PS5 era development costs today range from $60 to $250 million, whereas GTA 3 on PS1 was $5 million. Okay. With Tekken 8 selling 2-3 million units so far, the game probably isn't financially stable yet. So the $5 DLC stage and the $4 $8 DLC characters are clearly necessary. At Harada, Tekken has previously tweeted that a stage costs around $350K to make. So making it free or part of the character season would likely hurt financially. Tekken 8 on paper is astonishingly risky bet. It's almost delusional on paper and can only survive with every current Tekken player throwing $5 at it every 3 to 4 months or aggressive growth. The fan base, while passionate, isn't growing enough and seems uninterested in the financial realities. They review bomb these sustainability efforts and wonder why franchises like Soul Calibur or Virtua Fighter are gone. Well, I think that there's, just to combat this, I'm going to push back on this a bit, right? So Virtua Fighter, I think there's one in development, and Virtua Fighter was mishandled by Sega, so that was like horribly ignorant, right? Like Virtua Fighter, the reason why Virtua Fighter isn't doing so well is because Sega mismanages their franchises. That's why Sonic has been doing poorly for the past couple games up until Frontiers, and now Sonic is starting to become less of a joke, right? You want to know how Virtua Fighter was mishandled? Virtua Fighter 5 on PS3 did not have an online functionality. Only Virtua Fighter 5 on Xbox 360 did. They repackaged the game on PS3 later on called Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, right? And I think they ported it to PS4 eventually. Is that where Ultimate Showdown came from? I don't remember, but Final Showdown had online functionality, but the customization wasn't very much changed. They didn't really do anything to make the netcode like cutting edge. Like it wasn't rollback netcode like fighting game fans had asked for decades at that point, right? They said it was absorption based netcode. It was a scam. Soul Calibur, you know why Soul Calibur died? Soul Calibur died because Tekken 7 was hogging up everything, right? Look at this. Okay, that's a childish way to put it, but just hear me out real quick. So Tekken 7 sold 12 million copies, right? And Soul Calibur 6 sold 2 or 3 million, and Soul Calibur 6 had 2 season passes, and both of those season passes were great, right? They had great characters come back, characters people have been missing for years and years. They actually listened to fan feedback, and they did a lot of balance adjustments that were like really interesting, right? Not saying that Tekken 7 didn't, but Soul Calibur didn't have as many sales as Tekken 7, right? So Tekken 7 at that point, it was like 6 or 8 million when Soul Calibur 6 came out. Let's just go ahead and like make that the number. And Soul Calibur is like at 2. I think Soul Calibur ended at 3. As far as we know. And Soul Calibur 6, we were waiting for a season 3. Everybody was waiting for a season 3, and like they just said we're not going to do it. Now, I understand that there's development costs for games, and there's nothing wrong with telling people like, hey, this just isn't feasible. But ever since Tekken Tag 2, this game right here, this sold 1.5 million copies, as far as I know, because I don't know if they just stopped counting or whatever. Like, I find it hard to believe that it just hard stopped at 1.5 million. 1.5 million is the lowest in the franchise. Tekken Tag 2, they did the most amount of work, so I understand why they were bitter, and I understand that the industry changed and they had to put DLC into the game, because Harada once said, and OGs remember this, I will never charge for DLC for characters. And they had to. Nobody blames him for this, because this is like, of course, it wasn't sustainable. I get it. But Tekken 7 sold 12 million copies. You mean to tell me, all right, so just a little bit of math here, right? He said it costs $350K to make one stage, right? And I have a problem with this, right? Because there was a beach stage already in Tekken 8. And they could have used that beach stage as the stage for Lydia Sobieska, but they made a whole nother beach stage. So it costs $350K, right? Per stage. All right. And Tekken 7, let's just say, I understand that Tekken 7 wasn't $60 the entire time it was out, but I don't know. Let's just say it was $30, right? $30 minimum for Tekken 7 the entire time, and it sold 12 million. All right. So 30 times 12 million. All right. That's 360 million. That's 360 million. If we're going off of USD, let's assume, like, I'm not a mathematician either, but let's assume Tekken 7 was half price its entire existence. That's 360 million that they got off of Tekken 7 alone. That's a lot of money. And I get it. It goes to Bandai Namco. I can understand that. But look at all the money you got. And it shows that they got a lot of money off Tekken 7. They had a lot of faith in it. And 2 to 3 million within a couple of months, because the last I heard, I thought it was like 3 million within 3 months, which that's what Dragon Ball Fighters did. I get it. They need to sustain it, and they got the little microtransactions and everything. But you don't think it's a bit weird that we paid an extra $40 just to have like 4 characters, and they're not going to include the stages like every other fighting game company does? Like, dude, Guilty Gear, they include their stages in their passes. Guilty Gear, Arc System Works. Let me just say Arc System Works in total. They include the stages in the passes. It's just something natural. It's weird to not do that. Only Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, the only game I've played within the past 2 generations, is the only game besides Tekken 8 that had a stage that was outside the pass, and I never got it because it's like, dude, I bought the pass. Why are you charging me extra for something that I should deserve? Here's something. Here's something that I do know about buying games and the incentive of buying games. When you make the choice to buy a pass, you're locked in. It's not like I'm buying one character at a time and I might not buy this character, so you gotta throw a stage at me. Like, no, I bought the pass. You understand? I might not even like the characters. I might not even ever play the character. You know what I mean? When this character comes out, I might even skip playing the game, and the servers might have an easier time. There might be a lot of people that don't even play the game because you picked a bad character to bring back or something. You know, a character nobody really likes to play with. Or something along those lines. Like Ganryu comes to mind for Tekken 7. There's some Ganryu players, but I'm sure it's not like as many as like, Xiao Yu players. Could you imagine if Xiao Yu was a DLC character? Let's not give him any ideas. But gosh, I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked. But like I said, there's incentive to buy a pass, right? The incentive is you get everything new that comes out, but in Tekken now you don't. So it calls like the validity of buying the pass into question. Like, I might, if they come out with the season 2, I might not even buy season 2. You're making me buy every fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. You're making me buy everything. I didn't want Lydia. Next time I'll just be like, you know what? I'll just get every character on a character-to-character basis or wait for a sale for the pass, And do you want that? No. And I kind of don't like this. Tekken 2 and 3 cost $50 to $60. Like, you know what, man? I get it. The cost has went up for games, but the thing is, it's went up for every game. I'm sure that there are games out there that cost way more to make than Tekken 8, right? Like, there's no way Tekken 8... Is Tekken 8 the most expensive game in existence? I don't know. But I'm sorry, I'm not going off on Dell. I'm just trying to talk about some of these points. Like, as a consumer, I shouldn't have to hear about all these back financial things. Like, dude, what am I? Do I work at Bamco? I don't want to even hear this shit. Do you want to put out another game or not? They could have surfed the wave of Tekken 7 if they love Tekken 7 so much. Like, I'm not here for statistics. I'm here for, is the game good or not? Is it built good? Am I going to get a good value for my pass? And I would say no. They give me every character they've given us so far was in the last game. They were in the very last game. That's all I had to say about that. But let's go to Harada's page real quick, and don't bother the devs on this. Like, I can't express that enough. Don't bother the devs. Like, you can review the DLC negatively. I think that's a good choice, but don't bother them on this. Don't be like, Harada, you stink. And, well, let's just go to the next topic. Let's go to Harada's page. So Harada says this. Okay, now I understand the situation. I will delete my earlier posts. Very cryptic. He is very cryptic. And I don't even know, did he block me or something? No. I don't think he did. He didn't block me, but I can't reply to it. Only certain people can reply. Oh, no, wait. I'm tripping. Sorry, I'm not used to looking at it from the perspective of my computer. Okay, now that I understand the situation, I will delete my earlier post. And his post was basically saying he apologized because Harada doesn't have any control over the pricing, from what I understand. He is in control of the development of new technologies and I don't know, just new tech for Tekken, if that makes sense. He's not over the sales portion of it. So don't go to Harada's page cussing him out. Like, you know what I mean? It's a little nuts. Hold on a second. A few days ago, you made an apology about the microtransactions with the new Heihachi stage, but then you deleted it the day after. Why? So this person's getting a lot of likes. They're putting his feet to the fire, but I don't think they're putting it in the right direction. When we're talking about the microtransactions, by the way, let's get on Tekken and actually talk about that a little bit. All right, so let's talk about these microtransactions, right? And look, I'm not going to judge people, but I know a handful of people that will buy these transactions no matter what. You know what I mean? And while we're talking about development costs of the game, I just want to talk about all these items that you get that aren't really well thought of. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? I gotta get the pass. I gotta get the fight pass for Leroy standing on my avatar or something. Like, all this stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the actual end game. Like, it's just aesthetics that you don't really like. Look at this. Level 60, I get the foam posit shoes that I can't even wear with the outfit that it's advertised with. My buddy brought that up. This fucking hair, man. Blunt Bangs Bob. Yeah. That looks like another hair customization. It looks like a hair customization from Tekken 7. Insane. A cape. Now, this is something that you can get like while grinding the pass. Like, I get that. I'll grant you that. But Lord Almighty, look at what you're paying for. Purchase Premium Pass. Premium Pass is 600 tokens. I luckily have 800. And what's this? On top of what's contained in Premium Pass, your Fight Pass level will also increase by 20. Okay, so that's silly. They want me to pay more money so I can get to the top of the pass quicker. I mean, it makes some sense, but it's like, like whatever. Jesus. I didn't even mean to go out of that. I'm sorry. I just get a little amped when talking about Tekken because I'm just tired of people like running defense for Tekken and like the way they say shit. Like, you know, when they said that Tekken Tag 2 almost killed the franchise, I still think that's stupid. Tekken, by Tekken Tag 2, they sold, what, 30 plus million copies and like, what is it? So in 8 releases of Tekken, 8 main releases, they sold over 30 million copies. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of sales. Like, there are franchises that have 8 games that never sold that much, right? Look at this. What a well thought up pack. You get a Grim Reaper outfit. And you get a scythe that doesn't look that crazy. You get the skeleton outfit that's underneath the Grim Reaper outfit. So like basically this outfit is underneath like another like texture or another I don't know what you call that. They give you the same outfit twice in that, and in this one they give you basically Lily's hair. Basically Lily's hair, but like you can color more parts of it. Now, this has some effort into it, but like, I don't know. They're not really doing anything crazy with these fight passes. And I keep telling everybody this. Every time I see these fight passes, I'm just like, man, I am unimpressed. Like this Outlaw Biker fight pass. Okay, they have a mohawk like this already. They just tweaked it. From Tekken Tag 2, I mean. These boots look stupid. This ain't that bad, I guess. Got a shotgun with a spike on it. These freaking, we already got leather pants, but they want leather pants with like a little chain on the side and these little spike shin guards making it look tacky. Like, this is tacky, man. They keep giving you these tacky ass outfits and you guys keep cosplaying with it, right? Like the worst cosplays, I might add. Like, look at all the stuff that you can buy that you had to buy with real money if you play Tekken 8. Even if you play it all the time. Because you only get so many coins from fighting. There's a lot of MTX in this game. You mean to tell me you think nobody is buying this? Like, a lot of people will be buying this. Like, Tekken would be fine. You know, I think that all of this is tacky. I don't think a lot of this is good at all. But, you know, some people beg to differ. Some people are collectors. And they're paying on top of like the $60 or $70 and potentially even $110 that they paid for this game. You know, like on top of that, they're paying for this stuff, and you're telling me that it's not enough for this franchise that sold over 40 million copies within the course of 30 years? Like, come on, man. Anyway, that's it. That's all I had to say. I pretty much said my piece with this. I'm going to go ahead and, like, pack up and, like, you know, finish with the rest of my day. Look at all these collaborations. I don't care about these sunglasses, man. Let me know what you think about the video. Did I go too hard? Was I sensible? Because I feel like a lot of people be coming to my page saying the dumbest fucking things about like, oh, well, you should have edited it. Like, what do you want me to do? Put a fucking explosion on it or something like...